Hi friends, welcome to my channel. I hope you had time to look at the unboxing video of the newly launched Lenovo IdeaPad Gaming 3i i7 10 Gen laptop. So some of the things I've already covered earlier. This is the laptop that comes. Then you have the power adapter. It's a 135 watt adapter, so which is written at the other side of it, and you have the gaming mouse, and this is the main laptop. I've kept it on a cooling stand. The laptop is not power on, so this cooling stand I had historically bought it and I was using it for other laptops. So other than this laptop, I will also show you few other accessories which I use on a daily basis, because this laptop is primarily kept on a computer table which has enclosures at the side. So I do have a wireless keyboard and mouse that comes with it. So the gaming mouse which is there, this video will not cover much of gaming, so I'll just keep this aside. And I will also draw some comparison with one of my earlier laptops, which is the Asus i5 laptop 4th generation. The model is XL552. So the reason I'm drawing comparison is because both the laptops have similar screen size, and both have graphics in it, and this is white in color and that's black in color, but the comparisons won't be done much, only at a few places. So now what I'll start with is by powering on this lovely machine. Just mind you, I'll be referring to some notes which I have just taken to cover the various aspects of it. So what I'll be covering is related to battery, thermals, IO ports, sound, screen, then Lenovo Vantage software upgradability, the design, and various other things. So let's look at the design first. Yes, it is pretty heavy, and it's got a shiny outer body, and on the edges, on the side of the screen, you will have a little bit of a bend, you can say, or whatever you call that. And on the left side you will have the IO ports. So you have the headphone jack, you have a USB type C, or should I show it the other way? That will be better. So you have the proprietary power port. Yeah, this seems better. The proprietary power port, RJ45, HDMI, USB type A, type C, and then the headphone jack, and you have the mic and an indicator over here. On the left side you have the vent, cooling vent, and another USB type A port. On the bottom you will have the vents over here. So if you take a closer look, there's a lot of ventilation provided here, so which is important for the gamers. Okay, and you have the stand rubber pads, and the way to open this laptop, I haven't done it so that my warranty is not void. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 and 10. I guess there are around 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11 screws that need to be opened, and then this cover just comes off. and you can dismantle that way. With respect to the design, I like it. It's pretty nice. The only problem I see with the design is this laptop is a big fingerprint magnet. I have a dry skin and I have tendency of using petroleum jelly, and you can see the fingerprints all across. So as soon as I keep my finger, look, there it catches. There you have. So a lot of fingerprints. It's a shiny surface with the Lenovo logo, but you have this problem with fingerprints. I'll keep aside my wireless accessories and begin with the main review of the laptop. Okay, so let me power on the laptop. I have read that the BIOS of the laptop has a smart feature wherein just opening the screen powers on the laptop. So let's see whether that's configured. I've already used it once, and I've configured the power options on Windows so that whenever I press the power button, the laptop goes into hibernation. So let me open it and check what happens. Since the base is heavy, I presume just with one hand I'll be able to open it. Yes, okay. See, I haven't pressed the power button, but the laptop has started. And again, this problem with fingerprint, as I said, there's it's a finger magnet. Okay, it's apps around 4 to 5 seconds and Windows is on, which is pretty decent. And I should say it's probably faster than my Asus one, because I had upgraded an SSD over here, but on this laptop, remember, it is an i7 10th generation. It has two storage options, two storage in fact configured, 256 GB NVMe SSD. That's the one which looks like a RAM stick, and it's plugged in there, and it has a 5400 RPM 1 TB hard drive. Let me log in here. Okay, looks like I've entered the wrong pin. Okay, see, it's pretty fast. Okay, that's to do with the boot process, and here you can see the integrated webcam. Let me position the laptop in a different way. Okay, it's got the give me a minute. So you have the integrated webcam and with the privacy shutter, so using your fingers you can just turn it on and off. When the webcam is turned on, you get to see the light come up here. These are the two array microphones. With regards to keyboard, it's pretty decent. The keys are soft, and you get a good feeling while typing it. And as you know, this is a backlit keyboard. Again, since it's a gaming laptop, let's see how it gets turned on. So you need to press the function and the space. So you have a light icon over here, so just press that. You press once, the keyboard is just lightly lit. Maybe I'll turn off the lights and show you how it looks. Okay, that's the first level of brightness when your room is completely dark. And I will press the function and spacebar again, and now you see that there's more light over here, so it looks pretty decent. It has got dedicated arrow keys, dedicated num lock, and what happens is, even if you're using an external keyboard, whenever you turn on the caps lock or num lock, so you get the light turned on over here. So even if I turn off the lights, so pressing it thrice turns off the light, I press caps lock, so this light comes up, and the same thing is to do with the num lock. So you can see over here, num lock on and off. And you also have indications on the screen when it's turned on and off. So num lock on, caps lock on off, and num lock on off. Okay, I'll turn on the lights once again and continue with this review. Okay, I've just turned on the lights. With respect to the thermals, I did some tests, and in fact with general usage, so I have used this laptop with some data copy across the network and from the hard drive across the night, and it there was little bit of heat over here and on the side, but that was just negligible. If you look carefully, let me try to show you, there are vents even at the hinge of the screen, through which you have heat radiated. So the basic cooling arrangement is pretty good. It has some crazy technical name which they call for this cooling, and you have the IdeaPad Gaming logo over here, the Lenovo embossed over here, and the stickers over here. So that's to do with the thermals. And when I was told that the power adapter really gives up a lot of heat, but I wouldn't say that. I will show you some pictures where I have captured the temperatures. So when I charge my laptop using the provided power adapter, so on the power adapter I'll show you that this is the proprietary charging port. It looks like a USB port, and there's a tiny pin inside. Okay, so when I charged it, I kept this way because you have the sticker this side, you have more heat radiated from the top surface, and with that, through the thermometer, it was hitting something around 110 degree Fahrenheit. I'll have to just find out how much that comes out for Celsius. So, but technically saying it's not huge, it's just very lukewarm. That was on the side that was on the top portion, and when I turned the adapter the other side round, so on the bottom where you have the sticker, it was around say 2 degree Fahrenheit less. So, and it was pretty normal. I didn't find it very strange as compared to any other power adapter that we use. With regards to the charging speed, I will show you how much time it took. So at around 12:20 p.m. today, I started charging when it was down to 10%. Then at around 12:51 p.m., that's half an hour, it charged to 35%, so effectively 25% in 30 minutes. And by 14:29, I should say around 2 hours and 10 minutes, it was 100%. So from 10% to 100%, that is 90% is charged in 2 hours 10 minutes, and that was done using the fast charge turned on, and I'll show you how that is done basically. So there's a Lenovo Vantage software that comes along with this. So here you can configure a lot of things. So here you can configure turn on the network boost, then what mode are we using. So the default mode is the balance mode, so you can also change it to quiet mode for very regular usage. So balance mode is kind of a balance between a regular and a high usage, and you can set to performance mode when you do video editing and gaming. And what you can do is you can just turn this on, automatically switch to performance mode when launching games, and switch back after exiting the game. So I have not set that. I'm still going to explore that later on. Then in the quick settings, I have got rapid charge turned on. Then there's a feature called Wi-Fi security, which I have turned on, and I've got the Dolby also turned on. So with these settings, it took around 2 hours 10 minutes. Okay, so the next thing to see is the Lenovo Migration Assistant. So the Lenovo Migration Assistant, yeah, it's there on my desktop. So this is a very helpful tool that is required for you to migrate your data from from your old PC to the new one. So this on the first screen, you just select Wi-Fi, click next, and it will ask you whether this is a new computer or an old computer. So since this is the destination, I select this is the new computer, and I just click on next once again. Now this is the pin which is set on the source computer, which is my Asus. So I'll just power that on, and I'll show you how this works. So I've also powered on my Asus laptop, and what I'll do is, here I will again select the Wi-Fi option. So I'm getting a lot of alerts about questions on this laptop. Happy to see the subscribers asking me questions. And when I click on next, I have to select this as old computer. You remember the new one we have already selected. Now just click next. So it gives me a unique pin 5804, which I need to enter on my Lenovo IdeaPad Gaming, and then we can proceed. Okay, so I'm back at the old PC and my new laptop. I enter the pin 5083. It shows, oh, it's showing a wrong pin. Did I enter that incorrectly? Okay, so I entered a wrong one. It's 5804. 04. Okay, it shows connected successfully, and then it is scanning the contents of the old PC. Now it tells you actually what you actually want to sync here. It has the provision of even syncing the time zone, network drives, power plan, LAN priority, and also the documents over here. If you want to select in a different format, you can just click on the arrow over here. So when you click on the arrow, it gives you a file explorer view. Just select the folders that you want to sync. Just click here and click on migrate. As soon as you click on migrate, I am not doing it right now because I have already done this activity earlier. It just commences with the copy. The speed is approximately something between 3 to 5 megabits per second that happens. Okay, so I showed you two important softwares, Lenovo Vantage and Lenovo Migration Assistant. Okay, do you want to disconnect? Yes. I'll just close this across. Just mind you, when I opened the Lenovo site to check on the warranty, it showed that the warranty, it has 10 months of warranty left. Surprisingly, because I just bought it a couple of days back, so it should typically have the warranty of 12 months. I haven't procured any additional warranty as of now. While you can do so from the Lenovo, buyalenovo.com/offer-redemption.html. So that's let me type it. http I won't write http. buyalenovo.com/offer-redemption.html. Okay. Oh, my spelling of redemption is wrong. .html. Okay, let me reduce the font size, maybe it'll be easier to see that way. Okay, buyalenovo.com/offer. Okay, that's for extended warranty, but you also get premium support for the first year. So the number you need to dial for premium support from India is 1800 121 9339. So when I saw that my warranty was showing as 10 months remaining, I was surprised. I called them and they said that it's not too difficult to fix it. What you need to do is, when you see the back of your laptop, there's a sticker next to the vent. I won't focus too much here. Okay, and with that information you actually need to log a ticket, send an email to this email address which I am showing, pop@lenovo.com. So within 48 hours, 2 business days, they will revert back and fix your warranty issues. Okay, now we will see a little bit about performance with regards to encoding and streaming, and for that I have OBS Studio installed. So I have used OBS Studio for streaming across multiple laptops. So that's me. Hi. OBS Studio loads in a couple of seconds. Though it's an 8 GB RAM, but i7 processor. So as soon as OBS Studio loads, you can see that the indicator light besides the camera has just lit up, and you can also clearly see the array microphones. Now on OBS Studio, I have just created a new source which is for my integrated webcam, which is a 720p webcam. So you can see that it's a pretty decent camera. If I wave my hands, the frame rates are pretty good. The clarity is also pretty decent because I am shooting inside a closed room with just 2 lights on. So the illumination is pretty decent with it, and I'll also show you how the functioning of the privacy shutter. It's a bit hard sometimes. So when you just swipe it towards the left, it's off, and when you just swipe it towards the right, it's on. Okay, so in OBS Studio I have already configured with default settings. So it's 60 frames per second, and I've also configured the stream key for Facebook Live. I'll just show you how it works. In my Asus laptop, it always shows that my encoder gets overloaded, but that's not the case with this because it's got the latest i7 processor 10 gen and also a dedicated graphics card. I'll explore further on which encoder it's using because typically it's supposed to use NVENC. I won't go into the details of it here. Rather, I will just commence Facebook Live and I'll show you how things are working with OBS Studio. So this is my Facebook Live producer page. I've hidden the dedicated stream keys because that's unique for a user. Now you can see that it's waiting for live video. As I said that I've already configured OBS Studio with the stream key. So I will just click on start streaming and I will switch over to okay. You can see there will be a bit of delay, but you will not see any buffering. It's 60 frames per second, and you can see that the video is getting uploaded at 6 megabits per second with the screen resolution of 1920 into 1080, which is the default one provided by the integrated graphics card. I am not transmitting or testing any audio at this point of time. Now if I look at OBS Studio, generally the errors pop up here at the bottom taskbar. So it shows dropped frames 0, live for the last 58 seconds, and CPU utilization is just around anything between 5.5 to 6.5%, 6%, and you can see that 6 megabits per second which was shown on Facebook Live Producer at 60 frames per second. Mind you, this is probably one of the best streaming I have enabled just to test how things work. I had kept OBS Studio turned around for around 5 minutes or so there was absolutely no heating. It's absolutely cool, and that is probably the reason I bought this laptop, because though I wanted performance, but I also equally wanted to ensure that the laptop can really work as a laptop and not as a portable iron. So if I check the vent out here at the bottom, obviously it's not warm at all, and over here it's absolutely fine. No encoder overloading message yet here, and CPU utilization still remains pretty low even at 60 FPS. No drop frames, so that was a pretty good experience with Facebook Live. Remember, this is a test stream which I'm just watching on Facebook Live Producer. I haven't gone live, so it's not visible to the rest of the audience. Now we need to explore a few other features, so I'll just stop the streaming right now. So the next thing which I am probably going to show you is how quickly the web pages, specifically I'll give you an example of YouTube, how quickly it loads. While the speed and performance may be comparable to any of other high performing laptops, but I just thought of showing it. So I just type in youtube.com, press and enter, and yes, you have everything ready over here. And once I'm in YouTube, lot of news, lot of other thing, I can probably, if I play any other music, I will get a copyright hit. So rather I'll test with something a news, and this will probably give me an example of how the speaker works. It's not at the full volume. I'll press function.
नमस्कार, मैं हूं अर्नब गोस्वामी। दोस्तों, आप देख रहे हैं मेरे साथ पूछता है भारत के दर्शकों, पूछता है भारत कि सुशांत सिंह राजपूत की हत्या केस में सबसे बड़ा संदिग्ध कौन है। पूरा देश जानता है।
Okay, so let me see from where we are getting this audio output.
गिरफ्तार नहीं हुई। जानते हैं क्यों दोस्तों? क्योंकि उसकी पहुंच मुंबई पुलिस तक है। मुंबई पुलिस के डीसीपी अभिषेक त्रिमुखे।
So here you have the speaker output here. So if you haven't noticed carefully, let me show you again. It's here on the bottom right and left hand side. You have the speakers. Okay, so the audio is just about okay, not very loud, but since I will probably not be using this laptop always as a portable device, I have a set of eyeball USB speakers which I'll show you later on. Again, that's black in color, so it's interesting to note that I now have a completely black set. So wireless keyboard black, speakers black, mouse black. Wow, that's good. Okay, so the LED indicator still shows that my camera is being used somewhere. Yeah, probably because I haven't yet stopped the streaming. Okay, so the streaming is stopped, but I haven't closed OBS Studio. Let me close that. Okay, so we had a quick performance review of how quickly the web pages load, the sound quality, and also the streaming performance in a very crisp manner. Okay, so let us now once again go back to the Flipkart site and search for this one, the Lenovo IdeaPad Gaming 3i. You have the sale running. Now there are various configs available, like you have the i5 version, then oops, I probably just clicked it by mistake. Okay, so you have the i5 version, and so I'm using the touchpad for scrolling, so it has got the gesture support. I haven't explored huge number of gestures, but the 2-finger scroll works perfectly. The touchpad is quite smooth, and you can also zoom in, zoom out, the typical gestures which you get from the touchpad. So I've switched back to my desk. Happy to be back here. So I have the complete setup here with the wireless keyboard ready, and as I spoke earlier, I have these small little eyeball USB speakers. So it's pretty tiny yet powerful. We'll show some demo of these. And that's my desk with the printer, my iPads over here, and all the power cables. So rather than wasting further time, I will first go to the Flipkart website, and I will just probably search for gaming laptop, because yesterday when I searched for it, the one I bought was showing as best value. Unfortunately, it's not showing today. Not sure why, because the prices still haven't fluctuated. Okay, So today they're showing the Asus ROG as the best value. I'm not sure why. So let's open the page and look into the details further. So it's a Lenovo IdeaPad Gaming 3i 10 Gen with 8 gig RAM and 4 gig graphics card, GeForce GTX 1650Ti. Though it's displayed as a 60 Hz screen, but the Lenovo portal actually says that it's 120 Hz. I need to verify that further. So I have actually got it for a price something around 75,000 with some discount on my credit card and 6 months of 0% EMI. So let's get more into the performance of this laptop. We are still in the balance mode, and I'll go to YouTube, or probably I will play some 3D sound which I have stored using the speakers. So that's not the performance of the laptop speaker, which I have already shown below. As I said, it's below over here and over here. It's decent, but not a very powerful one. And now we'll switch over to a little bit of the graphics or the laptop's performance. So to do that, I have started Shortcut and loaded 2 videos, approximately 6 minutes. So I have split their audio detached their audio tracks, and before I start encoding, I will just launch the Lenovo Vantage. You will see that the CPU utilization is low. RAM always seems to be on a bit higher sides, and then rest seems fine. Now if I keep quiet, you will not hear any fan noise from the laptop, so I just go a bit quiet. It's just a very silent humming noise, but I will just change from balance mode to performance mode, and I'll just keep this ready. Okay, so I just press on export. Before doing that, I'll show you the problems which I face with my previous Asus laptop. Was if I just jump across the audio, this is too loud. I'll just reduce the volume. Okay, don't forget, this is the output from the eyeball speakers, placed left and right. Okay, but when I jump across, there's not much of screeching noise, whereas if you have an older laptop with less or no graphics card, you will just have some screeching noises coming in. Now this is a 6-minute audio. In my old Asus laptop, to encode this into MP4, it took almost 27 minutes for a 3-minute one. So this is a 6-minute. God knows how much it will take. So what I will do is I will first click on export, and here you have the option to use hardware encoder. I will click on hardware encoder, and it found 3 hardware encoders here. H264 NVENC. Okay, let's check that, which are those. So it found H264 NVENC, H264 QSV, and HEVC QSV. Okay, I haven't done much of research about them, and I'll just click on OK, and I will click on export file. So it just prompts me where I had tested this before. I click test.mp4 and click on replace. Let's just have a look. So it's showing that it will take probably another 1.5 minutes to complete the encoding. I will just fast forward this section. So the encoding is still going on. We have little over 1 minute left, but you can hear the fan noise now getting louder. I'll just keep quiet. Yeah, it's quite loud now as compared to what was earlier. So just over 30 seconds left. So we have just 11 seconds pending. The fan noise is quite loud now. It's in performance mode, mind you. Okay, it's complete. So in 1 minute 54 seconds, a 6-minute video encoding is complete. Mind you, this is not a very complicated video. I haven't added much effects to this, but still a very decent performance. And the fan noise is quite high now. What I will now do is just close this and switch over to. So if you see, the CPU utilization has gone up. Okay, it's come down right now because the encoding process is over, and I will change the thermal mode to balance mode. Okay, once I choose this setting, it will probably take a 20 to 30 seconds before you will again find that the fan noise has disappeared. Okay, so I have been asked by one of my subscribers to compare the Gaming 3i i7 version with the Legion Y540. So the Legion typically looks very much a gaming laptop. Looks wise, it is quite different because you have the screen just a little bit forward, so you can actually tilt it 180 degrees, which doesn't happen with this screen. And just mind you, this screen, if you just turn here and there once in a while, it might see, when I lift it, it's bending a bit. It might just be a bit wobbly. So that could be a case with Y542. But it has probably more USB ports. So if I go down to the not the base variant, but the highest price one on the Lenovo India side, so it's an i7 9th generation. So that's just a subtle difference, nothing huge. Both this and that has 8 gigs of RAM. Storage is same, no optical disk drive. Power adapter, this is 170 watt, and the one which the Gaming 3i has is a 135 watt. Okay, so this is Nvidia Geforce 1650 GDDR5. Graphics RAM is a DDR5. This has a DDR6, but again subtle. But one of the major differences is to do with the USB ports. Yes, I would have loved to have more USB ports with this model. So it has one USB 3.1, two USB 3.1, and one USB Type-C. So probably it's got one extra USB type A port, which is not there in Gaming 3i. With regards to Bluetooth, Gaming 3i has Bluetooth 5, this is 4.2. Camera resolution is the same, and this has got a Wi-Fi 6. So it's very much of a very subtle difference. So I entirely leave it on you which one to buy, but I would definitely say that the i7 10th Gen is a good performing processor. So it runs absolutely cool in balanced performance. So when I turned on the performance mode in thermals, you could hear the fan. Now I'll keep quiet once again and you'll see that it's again gone. So it's again silent. During performance mode, when the fan is at its peak, you do have little bit of heating over here, but that's very much negligible. So I used to have an HP laptop around 2011 and 12 which had an AMD Radeon processor, and that used to just heat up like anything. So this is nothing compared to that. So it's still a good laptop. So I probably would go back to the Flipkart page before I end this tech review. It is a good laptop. I will again show you some pictures from Flipkart. The gaming mouse, the bottom of the laptop, the keypad. So you have all the description accurate, except that it's being told that this is a 120 Hz laptop rather than a 61, which I need to validate. In case I am able to confirm that, I will probably pin my comment in my comment section so that you can come to know about it. Do I have anything else to describe? The likes, yeah, I like this laptop except for the battery and less USB ports, but mind you, my Asus laptop also had just 2 USB ports, so I'm pretty much accustomed with having 2 USB ports. A Thunderbolt port would have been an added advantage, because I think the data transfer rates with Thunderbolt port with video files is significantly faster. And also just mind you, the power button over here, and there is an LED indicator. So when the battery level goes beyond 10%, these start blinking, indicating that you need to quickly connect the charger. While the charger is a bit bulky, it doesn't get heated as reported in few forums and in few reviews, but I would have preferred that the power connector over here was angular, because I generally have my power cables coming from behind. So if it is angular, then you don't put too much stress to the cord over here. The power adapters, as you might already know, are pretty expensive these days. Overall, a decent one. I am liking it. I have kept it turned on for almost 24 hours now, and I didn't have much of a problem. And I did try to do a comparison head on the gadgets now side, but I think there are some incorrect statements over here, like with regards to the RAM. It says that its memory layout is 2 into 4 gigs and 1 into 16 gig for the Y440. I don't think so that's right, because as I said, we have just one slot which is occupied. So maybe before I finish my video, I will show you some output from the CPU ID application. All the techies can judge from this itself. So this is the CPU, you have the caches. So there you see the L3 cache is 12 megabits, and I think that's probably the reason the web pages load, the prefetch happens fast and the web pages really load fast. You have the Intel Comet Lake chipset, memory. Okay, so this single channel 8 gigs, and if you go to the SPD option, you will see that the slot 1 is not occupied. The slot 2 is where the RAM is fit into. It's an SK Hynix RAM. Graphics Nvidia 1650 Ti. I am not doing any kind of benchmark test in this video. One thing before I wind up, so as I plan to close this tech review, it also reminds me that I haven't shown you how the BIOS looks. So I will probably reboot my system and go to system BIOS. Just give me a minute. So we have come to the final closure stage of this video. So when you buy this laptop, I think you come with a free 1-year subscription of McAfee antivirus. Okay, I'm not sure, it's still loading probably. And with regards to upgradability, I have found out that you have another RAM slot free. So with 8 GB you can add another 8 GB to make it 16. I think you need to have match pair of RAMs. That's what my technical knowledge says. What else? From the keypad perspective, I liked it. It's much smoother and softer than the other keypads that you find in other laptops. While through the Lenovo Migration Assistant, the data transfer rate was probably around 3 to 5 megabits per second. I've used fast copy to copy from the hard disk, and I have got almost around 60 to 75 megabits per second. Now the next thing I plan to show you before we close is the BIOS settings. So what I'll do is I'll just give it a quick restart. To go to the BIOS, you need to press function and F2 as soon as Windows is done. That's what Lenovo website says. So I am repeatedly pressing function F2. Yes, so I am showing it a little bit from the side just to avoid showing you the serial number. So it's quite a good looking BIOS, good GUI, and this is probably the best BIOS flash screen I have ever seen till date. And you can also use the mouse over here. So let me go into more settings. Okay, here the first is the main information screen, which has the serial number, product name. I'll skip that. I'll just go to configuration. So you have the system time. The mouse is quite sensitive here, so be a bit careful because it just jumps here and there too fast. So this is the feature which I was saying, flip to boot, which is enabled. That's the reason when I just flip open the screen, the laptop gets powered on. Okay, so I'm having a problem with focusing, probably because it's a bright screen. Then you have you have information, configuration, security. So in security you have a lot of settings over here. and you have boot option with lot many settings. Okay, I don't want to now go into the details of the BIOS. Probably you can search over YouTube. I guess that's it we have for this tech review, which was a follow-up video to my earlier unboxing video which I uploaded day before yesterday. Hope you liked it. Do share your thoughts, feedback and comments, queries. I'll be more than happy to answer your questions, and we still have time until 10th of August for you to go ahead and buy this laptop. Happy buying. Have a great day. Stay safe. Wear your mask.